All right, I'm on hole number 3 of the Fuji Open tournament. I'm in the opening round of the Ricky division. Let's go to Golf Clash Notebook and check out hole number 3. All right. Okay. Extra mile, Titan. The goal is to get into my long iron range, and I want to use my most accurate long iron, so I'm going to bring a backbone. But I am going to bring as my secondary club, my wood club, even though I'm not going to be in my wood range. If I hit my wood range, it means I clip the rough going into that second fairway and I short shot it. And I want to give myself... The other thing is if you end up in between clubs where you've got to engage your wood to get on the green, the Guardian gives you two options. You can do the rough bump, but if you're right in mid-club, right where the rough bump is, you can use your Guardian to do a backspin. And you can always hit off the island and hit over to the green pad with your backbone. But you have, bringing the Guardian gives you one more option that you can do on this hole depending on where you're at. The idea is to end up in the right spot. There's a little depression in the course that I'm trying to get into, and that's the spot that I'm trying to get into every single time, because the second shot is what I've been practicing from that spot, and so I want to continue to be able to work that shot. And so the key is to be consistent on the drive. It's a setup. We're just setting it up for our approach to the green to give ourselves the best opportunity for Albie on this hole. So you can see here in this fairway area where it comes up to this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat to the right. I said it wrong yesterday in the video I shot. I'm going to cheat to the right, and by going to the right, it's actually making my ball guide look like it's going to go in the rough, and it would go in the rough if I didn't do anything else. But what it gives me is it gives me about a 2-ring gap. It puts me about 2 rings away from the rough area there, so it gives me a little bit of breathing room, and then I'll have to use curl to bring the ball back to the fairway. So instead of going here, so if I put on, we don't need max topspin here, we need almost max. So if I'm in this area right here, you know, it looks good, but I've got very little room for maneuver. So I'm going to move it a little bit to the right to give me a 2-ring separation, and then that's about a 2-ring pull. It's 2.1 per ring, so that's 4-2, so it's pretty close to 2 rings. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some right-hand curl to bring it back into the fairway. Hitting it perfect. And there's a little depression down here. See that little depression right there? And I want to end up right in that depression. Somewhere between like 340, 345, right in that area. I want to be very specific about it. It's like people that do competition archery or competition shooting. You know, somebody new goes out there and their goal is to hit the target. Somebody who's experienced, their goal is to hit the fly that's sitting on the target. Trying to be very specific. And the deal there is that if you're in a consistent spot like that, this next shot is the same shot I've taken all week, because I've ended up in that same spot every time. I watch a lot of players play, and you know how they're setting that shot up every time. It's a little, they're going to end up in a little bit different spot, and it's hard to get consistent when every time you're having to develop a new shot for where you're at this time. I'm going to do full wind adjustments, 1.2 per ring, so there's 3.6. So 3 rings is 3.6. I'm going to do a 3-ring pull. Just a tit shy. And the goal is to hit perfect. Oh, hit it great to the left. And it will go great to the left. It boils down to, on those shots, if you set yourself up in a consistent area and you hit perfect, you give yourself, I mean, like a legitimate shot. all about consistency in this game. It's the same thing with regular golf. You go walk on a course, you're playing a course you've never played before. Let's say you're playing in a tournament. You got your caddy out there, you're walking around, you're looking at distances. You're looking at the fairway and going, hey, if we drive out to that area and we get all of our drive, we're going to end up here, and we got a lot of distance, but now all of a sudden those sand traps that are around the green are now in play, and now we have to maneuver around them, or we have to contend with them. Whereas if we short shot it 20 feet and we ended up in another spot, now we have a wide open path right to the green. So thinking about where you're going to go and what angle you're going to be at. Wind is a big deal in this game. Sometimes it's better to hit to a different spot so the wind's going with you instead of having a side wind. That's one of the things you can learn here that's really important as you go up. If your goal is to try and go up the scales, is it's not just about the wind, it's about setting the next shot up. I see a lot of people work really hard to get to a spot, and they get there and their next shot is actually not a very good one. You know, that angle's not good. Alright, that was hole number 3, and it is raining at my house. Raining! Alright, that was hole number 3 of the Fuji Open Tournament and the opening round of the Rookie Division. Thanks for watching.